A former NOPD officer convicted of civil rights violations that led to a New Orleans man's death gets released from prison early. Tonight, we explain the connection between Melvin Williams and a reality TV star President Trump recently pardoned. This is Raymond Robert, a Treme handyman who was beaten so badly by NOPD officer Melvin Williams with a metal baton back in 2005. He suffered fractured ribs, a ruptured spleen, and massive internal bleeding. He died at Charity Hospital. 6 years later, in 2011, a federal jury convicted Williams of a civil rights violation that led to Robert's death. The jury also convicted Williams, along with his NOPD partner, Matthew Dean Moore, of lying about the circumstances of Robert's death when they brought him to the hospital and said he was suffering from a drug overdose. Williams received a sentence just shy of 22 years in federal prison.
Police, doctors, lawyers, judges, they're all held out to be someone that you give great power to and entrust them with certain things. But they also have the responsibility to not abuse that power. And the federal government sentencing guidelines are set up to penalize people if they do abuse those powers.
Last week, reality TV star and former federal inmate Todd Chrisley posted this video on Instagram. In the video, you can see Chrisley walking side by side with Williams. As Chrisley said in the post, he picked up his friend.
A federal inmate usually has to serve 85% of whatever his sentence is. Based upon his sentence, he should have done about 18 and a half years, and it looks like he got out at about 14, so I think he benefited by 4 or 5 years.
In his post about Williams' release, Chrisley credited the First Step Act, signed into law in 2018.
It basically allows the government to have a little wiggle room to come back and say, hey, give this person who's incarcerated a break. Under a number of different ways it can happen, but it allows them to kind of cut some people loose before their sentence is up for various reasons.
The purpose was to reduce the federal criminal population as well as to provide for additional rehabilitation and reentry services.
Former federal prosecutor Matt Coman says the First Step Act can't be used for crimes of violence. But here's how he says Williams' case differs.
Because it's just a straightforward civil rights violation that resulted in the death, it's not a murder itself, so he's eligible.
The Bureau of Prisons wouldn't comment when we asked if Williams' friendship with Chrisley, who President Trump pardoned earlier this year, along with his wife, factored into Williams' early release. The Bureau of Prisons also wouldn't tell us how long Williams' case has been looked at for his eligibility for the First Step Act, only saying every incarcerated person earns good conduct time and credit for programs that could factor into their early release. The Bureau of Prisons confirms that Williams was transferred last Thursday from federal prison in Miami to a community confinement home in Dallas. BOP says people can travel on their own to community confinement if they pay their own way, which explains why Todd Chrisley was able to pick up Williams from prison in Miami. We attempted to reach out to Raymond Robert's relatives for reaction to Williams' release, but were unsuccessful.